To my colleague Karin Giannoni, who is in Soweto, where Mr. Mandela once lived.
Thank you very much. We are here in Vilakazi Street, just the road where the old home of Nelson Mandela is, and it really has become the most extraordinary focal point. A lot of South Africans went to bed last night before they got the news of Nelson Mandela's passing, but once they did hear, so many people have made their way to this place, which has become a real special point of attention. We had a lot of people in the streets earlier, and they've gone past in waves, chanting, dancing, singing in the most joyful way. And if you talk to people, they say, and you say, why are there so many smiles? Isn't this surely a somber day, a day for mourning? People say, we are celebrating Tata Madiba's life, as they know him affectionately. And it really has been quite bizarrely an air of celebration, and Gabriel Gatehouse takes us through the events of the day, this momentous day for South Africa and right across the world.
They come from all walks of life and from all communities to pay their respects outside the home of Nelson Mandela. The sense of bereavement is palpable. For some, almost private, personal. But this is also a coming together, a nation united in mourning, but also in celebration of the life of the man they call Madiba.
People are celebrating the life of Nelson Mandela. I think that's what he would wanted us to do, to celebrate his life.
As South Africa prepares for a state funeral of unprecedented proportions, thoughts turn to what kind of nation Mr. Mandela leaves behind.
We'll always love Madiba for teaching us that it is possible to overcome hatred and anger in order to build a new nation and a new society.
For decades, the struggle against apartheid looked like it might be crushed by a brutal regime, a system that applied violence and racist ideology in equal measure to oppress South Africa's black majority and keep a white elite in power. But Nelson Mandela's achievement amounted to more than the victory of the oppressed over the oppressors.
I think his greatest legacy to South Africa and to the world is the emphasis which he has always put on the need for reconciliation.
Nelson Mandela went to prison an angry young man, a fighter committed to defeating his enemies by violence if necessary. "27 years later, he emerged preaching reconciliation, but he never gave up the struggle.
I have no doubt that each and every one of you who is here can say with authority and confidence that I have traveled this long road to freedom. I trust I did not falter. I made missteps along the way, but I have discovered the secret that after crossing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to cross.
His message has been an inspiration to millions, at home, in Africa and beyond.
He achieved more than could be expected of any man. And today he's gone home. And we've lost one of the most influential, courageous, and profoundly good human beings that any of us will share time with on this earth.
It'd be a hard heart indeed that wasn't moved by this spectacle, these flowers, these candles, and these messages, many of them written by children born in a post-apartheid South Africa. Messages that all more or less boil down to one thing. Tata Madiba, thank you for freeing our country. In death, as in life, Nelson Mandela's unique ability to bring people together and to lift their spirits remains undimmed. Gabriel Gatehouse, BBC News in Johannesburg.
Well, the merchandise stores along here have already reacted to the news. I've spotted many T-shirts that say, "Rest in peace, Tata," and just a few seconds ago, there's even a car, a white car driving past, and the owner of the car has graffitied, "Rest in peace, my president," all over it, from top to bottom and all over the bonnet. Now, of course, the ordinary people of South Africa and the world have been reacting over the last day or so, but there has been a huge reaction as well when someone of this figure, of this magnitude, dies from world leaders. And Bridget Kendall, our diplomatic correspondent, takes us through some of the reaction from around the world.
In Trafalgar Square in London this morning, the flag on South Africa House was at half-mast. Down below, the messages, flowers and other tributes were beginning to pile up, passers-by quietly adding their tokens. Among the mourners who came to sign the Book of Condolence, David Cameron.
The abiding memory I have is just seeing him in Johannesburg and him talking about the people who had imprisoned him and the suffering he'd undergone, and yet his complete forgiveness, his total lack of malice towards those who had done this to him.
Across the Atlantic, where news of Nelson Mandela's death came after darkness, the American flag was also raised to half-mast on the White House, and President Obama made a heartfelt tribute, which was deeply personal.
I am one of the countless millions who drew inspiration from Nelson Mandela's life. My very first political action, the first thing I ever did that involved an issue or a policy or politics, was a protest against apartheid.
And in New York, the passing of a great leader was mourned both in Times Square and at the United Nations, where diplomats in the Security Council paused in silent tribute. Across the globe, messages from world leaders have poured in. China's president recalled Mandela's friendship with China. India's Prime Minister lamented the passing of a giant among men. Russia's president called him an outstanding politician, and Brazil's president mourned one of the greatest figures of the 20th century. A torrent of tributes also came from African leaders.
We will all miss the most cherished of Africa's sons and a true African hero. President Nelson Mandela lived an extraordinary life in a very ordinary way.
The Queen said she remembered her meetings with Mr. Mandela with great warmth and was deeply saddened.
Would you like to come and take a seat here?
Prince Charles, who took him round Brixton, recalled his humour and his courage. He seemed to have touched everyone who met him. Former US President Bill Clinton said he'd lost a true friend. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair praised him as a great man who'd made racism not just immoral, but stupid. And South African actress Charlize Theron said though Mandela would be missed, his impact would live forever. By chance, last night was the London premiere of the new film of his life, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge in attendance, and visibly shocked afterwards when the news of his death was announced.
We're just reminded what an extraordinary and inspiring man Nelson Mandela was, and my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family right now. Thank you.
More members of the royal family were at South Africa House this morning for a towering figure whose impact on the world has surely been monumental. Bridget Kendall, BBC News.
Well, the people continue to come past here. People are just arriving down the street to look at the scene and to pay tribute to Nelson Mandela just by his old home. And I've managed to talk to a couple of people who are here tonight. And Mandisa and Samkele. Mandisa, you were born and you've grown up in this very area.
Yes, I was born here in Soweto, Orlando West. So I remember very well when Mandela was released. I was doing grade 5 here in Orlando West, Kwansikana. I was here, it was on a Monday. The weather was actually like this. It was a bit cloudy and raining. We were so excited. I didn't even know about Mandela, but I was excited. I was very happy. And then we were told Mandela's gonna deliver a speech at Orlando Stadium. We went there, we were very happy. But now the wheels have turned. Mandela is gone now, but we don't regret as South Africans and Sowetans. He did a very good job for us.
Samkele, you're 13, I believe. What does it mean, what does Nelson Mandela mean to your generation?
He fought for freedom and for apartheid, so most of the people are glad for he came out of jail. But now we are very cramped up because he passed away. So we learn about a lot of him at school, so we have to learn about him more because our future is going ahead like him.
And your generation, although you've grown up not knowing apartheid and the struggle at first hand, what he did before you even were in this world is very much important to you.
Very much, because I was born in 2000. It was a little bit, I was confused who was Mandela. So now I know about him because I've learned about it a lot. I've learned about him at school. So now I've learned more about him.
Mandisa, explain the celebrations that we're hearing. How does that combine with the sorrow that South Africans are feeling?
I think we don't need to cry, although it's sad, but we need to celebrate our Black Jesus, Mr. Madiba. We will miss him so much. He has done a lot for us. We love him. We love him so much. It's sad, but we need to celebrate Mandela's life. I think he's happy wherever he is.
And now that he's passed away, do you have fears for South Africa that we will lose the path that it's on?
Not at all. Not with Mandela's spirit living around us. Nothing will change. We'll continue where Mandela left.
Samkele, are you confident that Nelson Mandela will carry, his legacy will carry?
Very confident, because there's no other chances we'll do anything, because he'll still remain as a country of our men. So there's no other chances we'll do anything.
People might say South Africa still has so many challenges. Will Nelson Mandela, would he be satisfied with South Africa today?
I would say yes and no. I would say yes and no.
But for you, these last 24 hours, they've been a sad but a very special one.
There are some challenges. I think he wouldn't be happy with some of the things that are happening, like the e-tolling and something, but some of the things he was going to be proud of them.
Mandisa, Samkele, thank you so much. We really appreciate you talking to us. We wish you all the best. And it was a very amazing evening to be here, because it just is such an incredible atmosphere. There are more and more people now coming into the street, and we expect this sort of strange celebratory but also sorrowful at the same time mood to continue, and a lot more people to arrive over the weekend. Now back to you in London.
That was my colleague Karen